Hi there, it's Simon Hurley from Inklips, and welcome to another video. Thanks so much for stopping by. Now today I have this fun glitter die cut piecing technique to share using sparkle dust and really intricate dies to get your own fun embellishments on your cards that really sparkle and shine and look stunning. Now I'm also going to share how to make these mess free so it doesn't rub off on anybody's hands, and it's World Card Making Day, so stay tuned till the end of this video for much more information about 3 giveaways sponsored by scrapbook.com, so make sure to thank them as well. Now for this card, I'm going to be using the Spellbinders Gilded Ornaments dies. These are super stunning and intricate, and they've got lots of little areas where we can shove the glitter in, so it works well for this technique. So to start off, I'm going to be making my own full sheet of adhesive here so I can die cut out of it. So I'm using Be Creative tape, which is super strong and will hold that glitter down really nicely. And it's also double-sided, so I can add it down onto this sheet of cardstock here, one after the other. And I just need something big enough so that my dies will fit on it and I can cut them all out. And now we basically have our own full sheet of adhesive here. This will just be a little bit more tricky since there is more release paper rather than just being one full sheet. So it'll just be a little bit more work later on. So I'm taking my dies here and I'm going to tape them down to this sheet of adhesive that we just did, and then I'll run it through my die cutting machine. And you want to pull it out nice and slowly, and this will ensure that all those die pieces stay intact on the cardstock. That's what we want. You don't want anything to come back in the dies. So be sure that when you're pulling your die cuts out, you just leave everything right intact. So after that, I die cut out the rest of the 2 pieces, and then I added some tape runner onto the back of where those die cuts were, and I'm just going to add it onto another piece of cardstock here, and this will ensure that no pieces will fall out as we're doing our technique. So to add the glitter to certain places and not others, since we're going to be kind of piecing these dies, I want to take a craft knife or a craft pick and just pull out certain areas where you want the glitter to stick. So you're going to just pull off that release paper to reveal that super sticky adhesive, and this makes it so that you can add glitter to those specific areas without getting it anywhere on the other die cuts. So I'm just pulling out a specific pattern where the inside is on this die. And like I said, it would be a little bit easier with just one full sheet of adhesive instead of pulling off these separate individual release papers. So after that, I'm taking my Nuvo sparkle dust here, and I'll link all the colors that I used down below, and I'm just going to sprinkle it right over my die. Now a little bit goes a long way here. You can really spread this glitter out, and you can also put the leftovers back in. But this is a super soft, fine glitter, and I find that that works best for this. It really grabs with that Be Creative tape. And I'm just going to rub it right over the surface of this so that everything gets super nice and covered by this. And if your fingers are a little bit messy, I just grab a rag with lots of fuzz to it so that it'll pick up all that glitter off your hands and off the surface as well. So I'm tapping some of that glitter back in, and then I'll take my Teflon bone folder just to ensure that it's all in that tape, and I'm just going to run it right over this. And that'll also kind of buff it into it so that nothing will really come off on your hands as well. So then to clean it off with my rag, I'm just swiping that right over top of that tape, and it really removes all that glitter that was clinging onto there to just reveal your awesome image that you just did. So now I'm peeling off some of those larger background pieces that are also with this die, and this is just going to be the second piece that we add our glitter to. So I'm peeling it off. This one's just a little bit easier. It's less tiny pieces. And after that part is all off, I can then move on to adding my second color of glitter. So I'm using a darker blue color to complement that light blue, and like I said, a little bit goes a long way, so I'm just kind of rubbing it over the surface of that die and making sure that it sticks to every area where I want it. And then if there's any areas that you missed pulling off, where you missed in your little release papers, you can always go back in and pull those right off and add the glitter back onto those. So after that's all done, I'm removing it with my rag here, and it'll pull right off that lighter blue color since there's no adhesive to stick to. Then I'll rub that with my bone folder to make sure that it's nice and stuck down there, and that kind of completes that little ornament die there. Now moving on to this green and gold one here, I'm peeling off the larger pieces first, so you could do it either way around, the larger or the smaller. And then I can add my lighter green color right over top here and spread that right in. Now you can also tell that I'm working over a black piece of cardstock. I find that that made it a lot easier to funnel back in your color right into that glitter jar so you don't waste anything. And then I'm going to buff that part in as well with my bone folder there, making sure it's nice and stuck into that die cut. And after that's done, I'm rubbing it off with my rag, and then I can move on to that next color. So I've removed all those little pieces of release paper, and I'm adding that gold onto there. Now right at first here, it looks like you just kind of ruined your project and covered it all up. But after you tap off your color a little bit and kind of remove some with a rag, and as I'm buffing this in, you can see that one part kind of doesn't have that gold glitter, and I accidentally peeled the adhesive off with my craft knife, so be careful with that. But I'm just going to vacuum up my surface here. I find that that helps getting rid of some of the mess. And then I'll take that silver glitter and rub it right into the ornament toppers there. And that works really nicely for that as well. And I'll buff that off and use my Teflon bone folder there as well. Now at this point, the glitter is not coming off too much. However, I wanted to make it really nice and stay in there. So I'm using this embossing pad that's a little bit older and it's gotten its fair use from me. And I'm just going to press that over top of those glitter die cuts to cover them with this clear sticky ink pad. And after that's all covered with this ink pad, you'll notice that there's a little bit of glitter on here. It wasn't too bad. And then I can bring in my little tub of clear embossing powder here, and I'm going to sprinkle that over top of my images to make sure that they're super nice and covered, and that they've all got an even coat of this embossing powder on them. And I can tap that off then and heat this up, and it's just like magic. I love heat embossing, and when it turns clear here, it really enhances the look of your glitter on this and makes it extra sparkly and shiny. And also when your recipient receives the card, no glitter will be coming off in their hands or going anywhere. And if it's a smaller die cut, you could also seal it in with glossy accents to get that nice raised texture as well. So I'm taking some Nuvo liquid adhesive here, and I'm just going to add those little ornament toppers right on top of them there, making sure that they're nice and stuck down. And then we can move into finishing off our card. Now there's not too much left to do. We already got the hard part over, but it wasn't too difficult. So to finish off this card, I'm using this background cover plate by Hero Arts. It's got this lots of circle confetti here, and I thought it would look awesome as kind of a snow background. So I'm taking a piece of cardstock here and taping it onto that die. And then I'll put that embossing mat down as well as the purple plate, and then I'll run this through my die cutting machine, and this will emboss that background super nicely without cutting it all the way through. So you get this really fun raised up texture on your card, and it looks really awesome in the background as kind of a subtle white on white technique. So then I'm going to add these ornaments onto the card. So since this green one had a mistake, I just added it onto the side hanging off using one layer of foam tape, and I thought that looked pretty nice. And then I used 2 layers of foam tape on this blue ornament, and I kind of centered it at the bottom of the card, a little bit more towards the left, and then I'll add that down as well, kind of overlapping the other ornament. Now to make these actually hanging from somewhere, we don't want them floating in mid-air, I doubled up a piece of thread here, and I'm running it right through there and pulling it right through the loop, and this makes it so that it'll hold onto that ornament, and we can loop that right to the back there and adhere it onto the back of that card, so it'll be sandwiched right in between our card and our card panel. So then I'm using this Grateful die from Concord and 9th. I know it doesn't really match with the whole Christmas theme, but I thought it would be great for a card that just says like grateful for you this Christmas season, since we were always looking for cards like that. Now to do my last final touch here, I'm bringing in some Nuvo drops, and I'm going to make little hearts on the card. So basically you want to start off at the top, make a nice round circle, and then just pull it down, and do the same on the other side to complete your heart. Now I love doing this, and it gives some awesome results, and if you're struggling with it, you could always pull a needle through the top of it as well to create that little heart shape, and finish it off a little bit more. So I loved doing that right around that sentiment there, and that finishes off for today's cards. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I loved creating it, and I hope you guys will have a fantastic World Card Making Day. And also today is the official release date of my beginner card making class with scrapbook.com, so I'm super excited. I hope you guys will go check it out. It's free enrollment, so you can learn a lot from it for free, and if you're a beginner card maker or you've been doing it for a long time, there's lots of tips packed into this class, as well as a bunch of card making techniques and lots of beginner information so you can learn more about inks and what to buy at the beginning. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys will definitely check it out. And I'll have a link down below in the description of this video where you guys can enroll in this class. And also, in honor of World Card Making Day and my class, scrapbook.com has provided me with 3 $25 gift certificates, so follow the link to my blog that'll be on screen right now, and you can learn much more about how to enter for that. As well, there will be a full supplies list over there and how to create this card in more detail, as well as many more pictures. And on screen right now, there's more videos if you want to see them. If you click that subscribe button, you can join part of my family on here and never miss another video from me. And I'll see you guys very soon for another video. Bye!